So you think you'll be happy if you win the lottery, huh? You think you'll be happy and all your problems will disappear. Well, imagine this. Imagine that you marry a guy that he's going to take care of you financially. He's going to struggle to try to figure out ways to make you smile. He's going to wake up early and make you French toast or fried egg with fried rice and wake you up in bed and surprise you with breakfast from time to time. He's going to leave small hidden poems tucked around the house. You'll never have to get a job ever in your life. Even if he passes away, he's taking care of you financially. He's going to provide you with a nice house and surround you with your family and take care of your family as well. Imagine all that comes to pass. Are you still going to be stressed all the time? What if I told you that, yes, you will find yourself stressed in situations where it's difficult to sleep, tossing and turning because of stress, because of worry, because of fears, of doubts, of insecurities, of what ifs, of I wants. I want this. Imagine you have a baby that's sick. I want. Now, actually, this all came from a specific circumstance, okay? We had a baby that's sick. And I told my wife, I'm going to have to go to confession. And she said, why? And I said, because my head has been filled with these I wants. I want him to not be sick. I want him to never be sick like this again. I want to be sick, not him. I want God to change places. So whenever he's supposed to get sick, let me get sick instead. Thoughts like this. Instead of thoughts focused on accepting what God has given me and focusing on that, focusing on taking care of the little boy instead of dwelling on my own thoughts and insecurities and desires. Just focusing on what needs to be done now. Now, I've known people that have been very focused on God's will, on what God wants from me. God brought this circumstance to me for a reason. I need to face this with all my focus and try to find what is God trying to teach me here. I've known people like that, and it's amazing, super inspiring. One man who really inspired me in my life spiritually was a Muslim. Very focused on judgment. He was very focused on judgment. One day I'm going to have to face judgment. So every circumstance in my life, I'm focused on what do I need to do to be square with God, with Allah, he said. So that was his thing, okay? But my focus here is that even though you can be taken care of financially, because I've been poor in my life. At times, I've really struggled. And at the time, I remember thinking, if only I had more money, everything would be great. But then you get more money, and then sure enough, these circumstances weigh you down again. And I've got to tell you that since I became a Christian, I've understood a lot of things I didn't understand before. For example, there are these parallels you can see in life. So you've got if you've ever been around a piano, a real piano, okay, you can play a chord and you can go back to the back of the piano and you can actually feel the strings vibrating farther on down the piano. So even though you're playing a chord way up here on top of the piano, down at the bottom of the lower notes, you can feel the strings vibrating. So life is like that, okay? You have a circumstance that comes along and it's echoed by other circumstances. So I'll give you an example, okay? When my family's facing a specific difficulty, somebody maybe is having a lot of spiritual doubt, okay? And I'll think, that's okay. That's okay. They can have that doubt because I'll carry them through that. And then you'll see a documentary on, let's say, the Donner Pass or something, where these people get stranded by a blizzard. And if one of them is strong enough to wade through this waist-deep snow and get help and come back, everybody's going to be fine. And suddenly you realize that that's a reflection of your own family's spiritual struggle. If one person in the family is spiritually strong enough, they can carry everybody through. If you can wade through that blizzard, even though everybody else is so weak they can't do it, if you can go get help and come back, everybody's going to be fine. It's the same thing with being trapped in the desert, okay? If you can leave everybody in a shaded place with half the water and you take the other half of the water, and if you're strong enough to get help, they're going to come back and everybody's going to be fine. It's the same thing spiritually, okay? Just like during the Mass, so much is recreated in the Mass. The procession during the Mass is, Christ's entry into Jerusalem, or Christ's presence on earth for that very brief time. When the Eucharist is being processed through the congregation, that's Christ with us for a very brief period of time. Just those few years, that he was on earth. And then at the Eucharist, when you're consuming Christ, you're actually having God within you. That's the whole spiritual life right there. Your whole life is boiled down to that one moment in the Mass, when you have no God within you, and then you have God within you, before and after your baptism, or before and after confession, or before and after fasting for Lent, and then Easter. And suddenly you allow God to be inside you, acting within you. The Eucharist is a reflection of all that. Just like the Donner Pass incident is an example, a reflection of your life, your family's spiritual struggle. If somebody's really having difficulty or doubts, as long as one person in the family is strong enough to make it through that blizzard, bring back help, everybody's going to be okay. Court proceedings are a reflection of saints interceding for us. Going to the store and asking somebody, I'm sorry, I can't find powdered sugar. I can't find raisins. Please, can you show me where raisins are? Asking for help from somebody at the store. There's so many people that I know, including myself, who've been very resistant to that. I'm not going to ask. But then you're there with a kid, and the kid's really, you really want to get in and out of the store quickly. And you don't want to spend a lot of time looking for stuff. You're just going to ask. Well, then suddenly you realize in your spiritual life, it's like that, You need help. You need help sometimes. You have to hire an attorney to go to court for you. You have to pray to a saint to help guide you, to pray for you, to help steer you in the right path. Intercede for you. Life is really difficult sometimes. And before I became a Christian, I thought of those difficulties just in terms of me. But after I became a Christian, I started to realize that you are a part of everybody. So when you or your wife gets upset, you can see that it affects the kids. But not only that, it can affect the neighbors. It can affect your mom. It can affect your mom's neighbors because she is having a little bit of disquiet in her soul, a little bit of trouble, a little bit of distractedness that they can sense because of your difficulty in your life. The people around you are affected by your spiritual state. So if you are close to God, you're really going to provide comfort and warmth and ease to those around you. And if you're far away from God, if you're troubled and you're not sleeping well and you're stressed, you're going to spread that stress to others. So you see this reflected in the spread of disease. If somebody's really vigorous and healthy, they're going to be very resistant to that disease. If somebody's really weak and beaten up, they're going to get sick. If somebody's really abused, they're going to get sick. You see that reflected in choir. If you sing in a choir, if you're surrounded by people who aren't trying to sing, who are talking or shouting or something, it's very hard for you to find the rhythm, to find the pitch. But if you're surrounded by people that take the music seriously, that know the song, that believe in what the composer was trying to do, it's very easy to find the pitch, very easy to find the rhythm, very easy to sing, very beautifully. And your life is like that. If you're surrounded by Christians, if you're surrounded by people that appreciate a good priest and go to confession frequently, it's very easy to find that pitch and sing the beautiful song that is your life. And it's very easy for other people around you to find their pitch and to sing their song if you're singing yours well. You see? It's a reflection. It spreads outward just like that. But if you don't believe in the music and you're just shouting chaotically, everybody around you is going to have difficulty finding that pitch, following that song. Everybody around you is going to have disquiet, and they're going to affect people around them. You see? So if you are spiritually strong, you can really carry people, just like that example I said of the Donner Pass, where people were stranded in the mountains because of a blizzard. If somebody's strong enough to wade through and bring back help, everybody's going to be fine. If you understand what the church is, understand what the sacraments are, if you go to confession frequently, you're going to be able to help people around you. You're going to be able to carry through that blizzard, and everyone's going to be fine. If you're at the store and you ask for help, you're going to be in and out of the store quickly. It's going to be easy. That's a reflection of your spiritual life as well. If you ask for help from the saints, it's going to help you in your life. Now you're still going to have the same stresses, okay? Just like I was talking to you earlier about the sick child, okay? You're still going to have the sick child. It's still going to affect you. But you're going to be much more calm. That's going to be much more calming for the child. The child's not going to be stressed, so the child's going to recover more quickly. Do you see? The people around you are going to be more confident and more at ease, creating a more peaceful, harmonious environment in your house. Your children are going to recover much more easily than if there's stress and anger and people aren't sleeping well and people have a short temper. Do you see? Kids are going to get sick more often. So you're still going to have the same stress. It's just how you deal with it. It's how you internalize it. If you're really anxious about something, you need to go to confession. If you really have that desire, I want this child to be better, and the child gets better, it's going to encourage that feeling in you. Do you see? But if you go to a priest and you talk these things out, It really helps you keep things in perspective. So you're going to be very focused on the child. You're not going to neglect the child and just say, oh, it's up to God. No. You're going to feel pain when the child feels pain. You're going to feel discomfort when the child feels discomfort. You're going to shower that child with love. But he's going to get better because of that love, because of that calmness and confidence that you have. You're going to understand that the Lord's trying to teach you something here. So you're still going to care for the child the same. It's just the stress inside you will be less. So that's my thoughts about the spiritual journey. Hope it helps you on yours. Take care.